nor by power,
nor by power,
but by my spirit,
but by my spirit,
saith the Lord of hosts.
saith the Lord of hosts.
God of the right,
God of the right,
our battles fight.
our battles fight.
Be with us as of yore.
Be with us as of yore.
Break down the barriers of might.
Break down the barriers of might.
We reverently implore.
We reverently implore.
Stand with us in our struggles for
Stand with us in our struggles for
the triumph of the right.
the triumph of the right.
And spread confusion ever o'er
And spread confusion ever o'er
the advocates of might.
the advocates of might.
And let them know that righteousness
And let them know that righteousness
is mightier than sin.
is mightier than sin.
That might is only selfishness
That might is only selfishness
and cannot, ought not win.
and cannot, ought not win.
Endow us, Lord, with faith and grace,
Endow us, Lord, with faith and grace,
and courage to endure
the courage to endure
the wrongs we suffer here, base,
the wrongs we suffer here, base,
and bless us evermore.
and bless us evermore.
Amen.
Amen.
Ra. One God,
One God,
one aim,
one aim,
one destiny.
one destiny.
These be seen. Okay, now we were talking about what they're going to do with the money that is not spent during the boycott. I used to do my brother. You know why I'm sorry. So once the person said, give it to the UNIA.
That's right.
Voice said, we need to give them a reason to give it to the UNIA, right?
Yes, so
Okay.
they can give us the money.
Give us the money.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good reason for us.
Yeah, I mean, because if, under the banner of the UNIA and the red, black, and green, and that's a question I have for you, because the news did not show any red, black, and green there. Did anybody have any?
The news didn't show.
That's what I was
Yesterday?
shown too.
Right.
That
It did, yeah, it didn't show it, so.
There's red, black, and green all over the place.
They
Were
snuck
you there?
It was
Yeah.
there.
Okay,
It was
I'm just
all
saying they
over
didn't
the
show
place.
it.
was
Oh,
all
everybody
over
had.
there.
Well,
No,
you
no,
were
no,
there.
no.
I don't know. I haven't seen the media yet. So I
No,
don't
no,
know.
see, I'm asking because what the media showed, they didn't show
They
any
said
red,
everybody
black, and
had
green.
them.
Oh yeah, it was.
They didn't
Well, you
show.
know.
Right, okay, I'm just saying they didn't show it, so I'm asking.
Oh.
Yeah, it, you know, it's the image. The imagery for those people who did not attend is what they're going to see basically on the news media and the news outlets. So those of you who did attend and those of you whose eyes saw it, you too at some point in time have to speak out to what transpired and therefore give a better picture than the one that people get by watching the news. And you can do that. You know, it's like if you Facebook it out. If you tweet it out. Yes, sir.
Did anybody here go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Malik too, right? Yeah. See, so you know, it's like if you see it, because I'm saying what the news showed, they didn't show it. It's like, whoa, okay. I mean, so
What they do show a particular section of the audience or something? Because there was all over the place.
no,
The flags.
believe me, I trust what you say. I
They
say,
have
hey,
control
I have
of
no
what
quarrels
pictures
with
they
you.
use.
Huh?
Yeah, it depends on how they do it.
They know how to-
No, but I'm just saying. You're saying that they didn't show.
Red, black,
You
green.
see-
Black and green.
Oh wow. That's,
I mean, if you look with a magnifying glass, you can see some of them in the crowd. But like before, they was.
Oh, I mean, it was
Made
fresh, you
sure that
couldn't
was
miss
part of
it.
the picture.
Right, I'm just, again, this is not me saying anything about it other than bringing out what they showed, because that's what people saw who did not go and was not there. So, yes.
But it was a change of venue this time because it was really booked as the Million Families type situation, as
Well,
opposed to.
but wasn't the Million Man March? I wish we would
Right, it
really
wasn't a
not
Million
say
Man
that.
piece.
No, it wasn't.
It was co-opted, kind of. So on the media tip, they didn't show a black thing. They showed a everybody thing.
Yes.
Okay, well, which is what it was.
Right.
I mean, that's what he built it as.
Right. He did.
Because you know what I found interesting, and they kept saying it was the anniversary of the Million Man March, but the Million Man March was actually October 16th. It was a weekday. The 16th would have been another weekday. You made it so that it would be convenient on a Saturday, so that nobody had to take off work. And you talking about boycott? Yeah, okay. Okay. We're gonna boycott, but don't miss no work now. Because when we went down on October 16th, or 20 years ago, you went down on a weekday, you had to take off work, you had to do all those things in order to participate and make it happen. It was talked about widely. In our community, this was not talked about widely.
Right.
And to whatever extent that means, because I asked brothers that aren't necessarily involved but yet are engaged I can say it that way, and they had not they had not heard of the activity. See, so it wasn't done the same way, and since it wasn't really a Million Man March, you know, for black men specifically, it was an all people's gathering. Someone said to me it reminded them of Al Sharpton. That's what
I can pretty much not only had they run a lot of the clarity out, I'm saying, not saying nothing is, you know, wrong with, but I mean, it's just like, it's a nation event, but like, you play gospel music in the crowd, like,
okay.
I mean, like, I'm gonna be blunt with it. There's a lot of coonish things that I've seen going there.
Coonish? Okay.
Tell the truth, brother.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Speak.
At the same time, man, it's
Say what you gotta
Come
say,
on,
man. Don't.
You at home, so you can speak.
God
I mean,
spoke
it's like,
the truth.
it was
Yeah.
like, all right,
Come on.
it's exactly what you said. It was an all-family event. It wasn't really pertaining to black liberation. You know what I'm saying?
Now, did any of you hear his message?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I saw it on C-SPAN.
Okay.
Yeah.
As they said it, yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard parts because I was moving around, but I didn't get a chance this morning to even listen. I was tired.
Because
you know?
it was billed as a message that would put pressure on the American government in order to address their concerns. So I haven't heard the speech. I haven't heard the speech. You're the after guy, so this is gonna be.
Yeah, but did anybody actually hear what the message was?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm asking.
The message was just.
But see, well, that's what I'm asking. Go ahead.
The message was. Excuse me.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
The whole what they were trying to factor in was the or else thing.
Right.
What is the or else? Was the main topic of the question that everyone was on everyone's conscience. What is this or else thing that you're saying? Justice or what? What is the or else? And that's what everyone was trying to figure out. And from my perspective, it was like, all right, well, what do you think or else is? You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone tells you, look, it's either it's gonna be like this or else. What would your perspective of or else be? And that was just what, you know, was the question on everyone's consciousness. And that's what everyone in the crowd and the people we were talking to was asking, even the people we were interviewing was asking, well, what is this or else? And that's what we want to know. You know what I'm saying? We want to solidify in our consciousness and our psychological mind of what this or else thing is, so we can make the next step, or we can factor in the next steps of what we're going to do after today.
What was the answer?
What's it done?
What was the answer to that? Just come.
All I got from it was the same thing we all been saying since the 60s. Needed schools, banks, businesses. The only thing new was Chuck Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was the same. It was the same, you know, it was the same speech we've been saying since the 60s, what we need,
Okay.
you know, to improve our lives. It was nothing really new. And he had the children of Elijah Muhammad come up
Okay.
and praise them as genius and wise people and spiritual people. And he brought up a lot of the sisters from the Nation of Islam and let the crowd know, see these sisters here, y'all can't walk up to them and say, hey baby, because these sisters here have respect and all that. Other than that, is something I could have read in the Metro for free. Current events. That's all he said. Really, man, it was nothing new. I didn't hear nothing new. You know, nothing new. You know. If I was there, I would have said, put the sugar back in the bean pies, man. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Bean pies are lousy, man.
Great.
Other than that,
No? Please.
that's it, man. Hey.
Malik, anything?
As far as what now?
The speech. On the message.
As I said, I didn't hear the whole speech.
Right.
So I heard parts of it, different times. I was there on the wall sitting when he started. So I got a part of that in terms of he was thanking the particular congressman that made it necessary for them to meet, and that we have to address the inequalities that exist in society with our race. And he brought up the fact of women, their role in the movement, and other people's situations. So, but here again, I didn't hear the whole speech, so my comments would be limited.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking. I mean, as
I
you
want to be
dissect-
fair.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, as you dissect the day, the time you spent, the energy and effort that you put out, you dissect the day, you have to answer to yourself anyway, whether or not it was as beneficial and motivating as you expect. I'm interested in what is supposed to happen after, which is what happens next, because in talking to the Philadelphia quote-unquote leadership in organizing, I understand we sent 100 buses down to DC,
Might have.
and they say they're coming back here to do some real serious work. So that's the part I'm interested in, to see if that actually takes place. I mean, it was the same message at the end of the Million Man March, the real Million Man March. So now these organizers saying they're coming back, and since they have younger people who are going to be helping with the we have, we got some. So to see what happens next, and it should be factored into the Philadelphia community of leaders, and it should be coming out of that. So we shall see. And I get a chance to participate in that, so I'm not going to be on the sideline. I just wasn't going down to DC. But that's why I asked, and I appreciate your sharing what your day. So, and all in all, it was a nice, good weather, and good relationships, and good interaction, and
Outing.
good exchange. Outing.
Outing.
A good outing.
Right. Outing. I agree with that.
A good outing. We can use a good outing now and then. Yes, ma'am.
So, with the community of leaders, what are they going to, when will they be coordinating, and whom will they be reaching out to within the community?
Well, since it's the community of leaders, I guess I'll be able to answer that once they meet after this event is happening.
And
Who are the community leaders?
Right. So, because I was going to ask, who are
Would
they?
you hold that question for a minute? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like, who are they, and
Okay,
how can
I'm
we
gonna-
join in to?
I'm going to first say they have a website, since I'm not going to tell you I remember everybody's name.
Okay.
It's the Philadelphia Community of Leaders.
Who are they? I mean, names aren't important. I mean, what?
They black.
Are they representatives of organizations, or are they?
Okay, no, thanks for clarifying. They are representative organizations, they are individuals as well. They've had 2 or 3 conferences here. Raheem Islam from Universal in South Philadelphia, he's the chairperson of it. You have subcommittees, a subcommittee structure. You have Charmaine McLeod Turner is another person. She's from the Urban Affairs for the UACS, Urban Affairs Coalition. She's a part of it. I'm a part of it. You have some other serious-minded people that are a part of it, but they have not done, in my opinion, some of the things that they need to do. You have former city officials who are very active in the movement, and even with the Million Man March, that are part of it. They coordinated some of the activity that took place going down. Well, Sultan, no. Bilal, yes, but that's not who I was talking about. I was talking about Jim Adari, and you may or may not know him, because he's Jimmy kind of in the background a lot, and I've worked with him quite a bit. So, it's a whole lot of bodies.
They need guidance.
Yeah, I know. So when I'm talking, believe me, I do know that because I requested to be on the strategic committee because I wanted to be on this, develop the strategic plan. That's where, everybody likes to put me in certain categories, but that's how I want to do the strategic plan. So see if they allow me to help them with the strategic plan. That's where I want to do. And if not, yes.
Are they all members of the UNIA?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, now.
But I'm working on that.
That's the answer to all the problems and the questions.
Drop your thing and come
That's
over
right.
here.
Everybody dismantle all organizations and join the UNIA, be a dues-paying member, and overnight, we will be a powerhouse.
Do we have a strategic plan?
Do we have the local or the national?
Either.
The national, yes. Locally, we're developing our strategic plan.
Great,
Yeah, we're putting those things in place.
great.
Yes.
Can I piggyback on what he just said?
You mean Reggie back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I noticed lots. See, you gonna make me forget what I want to say. You can't let. I noticed every little group will use the red, black, and
Right.
green flag,
Yes.
and a lot of times, not to say sometimes, I'm offended by that, especially when I know what their agenda is.
Okay.
Like Black Lives Matter, I feel they should not, I repeat, they should not carry that flag because they don't represent Garvey's point of view. So, is the UNIA going to make a distinction with people waving this flag?
Yes.
See, because to other people, they thinking, oh, well, this is Black power, this is African consciousness, and they be about something totally different what Garvey is about.
Okay. See.
And then wave that flag.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Do you want to say something before I do?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What you bring up is that's a tactical question. By a tactical question, I mean we're defining what the red, black, and green means to individuals. What they design. The red, black, and greens are the colors of the race.
Yes.
That's the purpose of it. Now, who fly that is what you're asking about.
Yes.
Now, that's a question that
out there. You know, not so much as, well, let's see, it's going too far, let's retract the colors, or how can we utilize certain places where it's going to, and, you know, tactfully utilize the situation to be advantageous for the organization.
Right. We have to incorporate that in our thinking. Brother Paul, you came in on a little late, but I know you was in DC yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Would you care to share your view?
Can you come in?
You can do it right there.
Okay, so yeah, how's it going? I went to the Justice Orrell's Million Man March 20th anniversary event. I was on the Philadelphia organizing team. It was a great event. It was hundreds of thousands, millions literally, of people of all backgrounds, but especially black people and especially driven black men. We went into the city, the team I was with, we went into the city of Washington, D.C., to the urban area where black folk live at. Howard Universities, a so-called hood, whatever else, and talked to a lot of people about their views on what's going on in the country, what their views on what else is. We met, West African immigrants. We met people who were first generation African here, from the families being recently from Africa. Of course, a lot of black locals from the South who were in DC that day, from Baltimore, Vancouver, other stuff like that. If there's any specific questions about it, I can answer them. It's a lot. It was a big day.
Yeah, we're just fielding people's views from your experience. Yes, Molly.
So I have one question. So what message did you get from the meeting?
So say again?
What message did you receive from the meeting?
Well, I got two. It's really one, but I got two sides to it. One is the continuance of the dream of the first two major marches, the Million Man March and I believe the Millions More movement in general, and the Women's March, was to go find or start a black organization or business, or to go and figure out what the or else means for you and come together in your neighborhoods, and then in your families first, in your neighborhoods, then with these organizations and help them with what they're doing. And also you start something reciprocal to go along with that. But in general, it's about literally black empowerment. So it's like, and I was part of the campaign marketing out of Philadelphia throughout the year. And so we kind of had a message ahead of time, which was the or else in that it's up to you, but for the campaign in general, one of the major focuses is economic withdrawal. It's continuing from Dr. King's message. His last day's message was make the economy, distribute the pain, hurt their economy by the same time. The point is going to hurt anyway if we pull out and do more for ourselves. So building black business, building black infrastructure, making more things, being makers, and essentially the basic building blocks that every single black liberation movement always reiterates is getting those who espouse them to actually do them better. And one thing I took away was getting the activist intellectual class to get more hands-on experience in the neighborhood. If they're not from the neighborhood, or if they're from a certain neighborhood, go back there and work on what's going on there. The worldliness is sometimes hurting us too, but we gotta be worldly minded to understand the situation that's going on. I also took away those on the ground who may say protest or march culture or anything, to actually, you don't gotta get public about it, but talk about what you're actually doing. What is that you do that's alternative to it, and actually make that part of a larger structure, which oftentimes takes a big awareness for the kids, youth, and public through protest or march. So being more holistic, I took that away heavily. The campaign issue definitely had me thinking about being more holistic, about education systems, how we do business, about being black, about really not so much pushing, but allowing people to see the reality of it really is race first. No matter what God you believe in, they put you here in a specific form, and look in the mirror and see something specific about you from day one. You're black. So I took that away.
You took it away, or you took it with you?
I took that concept, yeah.
And then
brought
it back.
Yeah.
You had it.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
And just dropping all the other divisions and going if you black, if you're black and you're ready to do pro-black work or doing it.
So that supports Mar's position that everyone needs to come and join the UNI.
That's what or else
or ally with it.
Connect to it.
Yeah, because we can't. That was the issue down there too. Different organizations, no matter what their structure or how large they are, telling folks, well, you want to do A, B, and C. It's kind of felt like it was baiting people to join a certain organization. And now I feel as though we get people to join the movement, the motion, the culture, which is the UNI on a philosophical level. But some folks don't want to sign up to an organization; they want to do stuff. So we got to they can ally, or they can be given a project to be drawn into the UNIA. this is the main body to do all that. We can't hit him up. I don't think we get him up front and join this organization. It gotta be like kind of how we came in here. We just came in, saw it was worth something because it is, and we stay. I signed up to be a member.
So, but you said something that hadn't been said, something that I was privy to, the number of other organizations that were utilizing the gathering in order to organize and outreach and try to draw people in. Because there were several different locations, so you almost had many gatherings inside of the larger gathering.
It was like tribes in a nation,
I wasn't going that far, but okay.
Because everybody has their own different.
Right.
People see A and Z, and it's completely different A to Z paths, but we all try to get to the same Z. And I feel like the UNI has the best structural theorems and philosophy to do it, with the footwork and the tangible resources and the drivenness of other organizations that, to me, because of Garvey's message, all fit into Garvey's principles and thus the UNIA's principles.
It's tough. It's a tough sell, though.
Yeah.
But that's been Mark's point all afternoon. Just come join the UNIA.
Black Book Card, this is like oppressed people work. This is the symbolism, so we don't want to just jump behind any symbol until we already believe in it.
Right.
So we do, but we don't care what cultural ideas though. Like we want to feed, clothe, shelter, educate, entertain ourselves. But we don't want yet to off the bat do it under a brand or a known entity. Because people have, it's a socio-psychological problem. We gotta face that. We don't face mental health stuff at all. So, I mean, as a culture, we don't really face it enough. So it's like, we got a group issue, which is like, oh, join NOI, join LACP, join UNI. People hear brands and want to wait, they don't even look into what it means. So we gotta focus on what is the thing that UNI, the NOI, National Black United Front, what do they do? If they got similar common denominator dues, let's put people towards the do, not the
That's called unity without uniformity.
Yeah, I agree.
Operational unity. Yes, sir.
I mean, like what he's saying, they're all brands. All of those organizations' name is their brand. And none of those brands predate this brand. And all of them are derivatives of this brand. And they fly our flag. So saying to them, the justice or us piece, if you don't get justice, you join the UNIA. And then we go after justice as one whole block. I mean, yeah, you could keep, it's just brands. That's just Willie Lynch. All these brands, everybody's divided. Everybody's doing all these things when they all actually got their basic platform from something that already existed. And they already are infringing on the brand with the flag. So, I mean, you know, and like it's a tactful way to put it to them, but that has to be put out there with no fear because it's true. Like the elder said, we got to roll on this based on truth, not on nobody's feelings. And everybody is dealing with feelings and emotions about brands and intellect and ego. The UNIA is the mother, father of all that stuff.
That's right.
The platform is already there. None of their platforms or foundation is as thorough as what Marcus Garvey put together, paperwork-wise, in total foundation.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I think the only issue though is that if you can't, well, it's how you tell the story. So that the narrative has to be clear that there's some common elements there in all of these groups and what it derived from, but at the same time you also got to defend the flag. I mean, in reality, we haven't claimed the flag, we haven't told the world that it's our flag, and we haven't protected our flag. And the flag is essentially a symbol of sovereignty. So until we tell somebody that this is ours, and that we're going to protect it, and if you use it, there are conditions under which you can use it, and people are not going to respect it. I mean, the biggest example is Libya. After they deposed Gaddafi, they got rid of their flag, took our flag, and put a star and a crescent on there, and flew that to the world and got world recognition for that being their sovereignty. We didn't oppose that. So as an organization, we have to go to the governing body, United Nations or whomever, and say, look, whoa, wait a minute. In 1920, we established this as our flag. These folks are flying our flag. You got to tell them to stop using our flag, because the flag is a symbol of sovereignty. That's the biggest fight for any sovereign people. Now, of course, you know, we deal with.
Are you trying to give me another job?
No, that's the job that we have. No, that's the job that the UNIA has to do.
Okay.
We have to take on the flag. It's our flag. We got to take on that fight on the world stage.
Okay. No.
And until we do that, it's like people are not going to even respect that.
Yeah.
That's your flag.
Right.
That's why everybody use it.
Yeah.
Because they can use it, and nobody say you can't use it.
That's like
Or if you use it, here's the conditions under which you can use it.
Right.
That's like if the name, that's like having a name that's not trademarked. I mean,
That's
anybody
right.
can utilize that name.
Yeah.
You,
All right, well,
you
the page is over.
Right.
Got something to say about
That's just
that.
something we got to do.
So yes, before you jumped up.
Yeah, I mean, jumped up because we got to stop worrying about hurting somebody's feelings. Because see, out of like all of our sheroes and heroes, I love Brother Garvey for a lot of reasons, but there's one reason I like Garvey. Garvey said, people used to come up here and say, "Do you got to talk to us so harsh, Garvey? God, can you just make a little softer? You hurt my feelings." And Garvey said, "Ain't y'all grown-ups?
That's
Y'all
right.
can't take it.
That's right.
So scratch this feeling stuff.
That's like
If your feelings get hurt, get over it." I've been hearing this since I've been a little boy. The truth, what? Hurts. So take some pain and get it set.
That's why they used to
Sick
hate
of
to
that.
hear Khalid Muhammad.
Oh, you hurt my
speak.
feelings, man.
Because
Yeah.
when Khalid Muhammad speak,
Oh.
I mean, he didn't hold nothing back.
Thank you.
And I got the same way. I don't even ask
Same
him.
here.
I don't hold shit back. You know
Same
what I'm saying?
here.
I'm like, for real, I'm gonna call it what it is.
Yes.
All right, yesterday was a gathering. It was good to be around so many collective black folks,
Feel.
but at the same time, I'm gonna call it what it is. I did see some cool shit going on here.
Yes, it did.
I mean, the fact that as soon as I get off the subway, is a whole bunch of brothers selling this bootleg. You know what I'm saying? Right there, as soon as you get off the train. Like, I mean, the fact that there's a brother standing in the crowd with a white woman on his arm.
So this feeling stuff gotta go.
Come on, like,
I got you.
I
Really? Some other stuff.
The sentiment today of the brothers and sisters expressing themselves are well founded in the discuss for the various things that are occurring under these colors of the red, black, and green. And it's you know, I must here again remind you that the only ones that can enforce that nobility and respect for that flag would be the UNIA.
Right.
However, right now we are not in that position. That's why there's some suggestions that we take it to other people. But you know, we're the ultimate enforcers of that, and you know, easier said than done. Suggestions are all well taken. I'm not saying that suggestions on what we should do are not. And here again, I wish to remind you that the red, black, and greens. I don't have my plank. That was the last plank of the International Convention in 1920.
Yeah,
that
the
is
Negro
established.
peoples of the
Negro
Negro
peoples
rights,
of the world,
the Negro rights,
Negro rights,
the
the
Negro
Negro
rights.
peoples of the world, as far as the colors representing the race. That's all it says. It's not the colors of the organization. It's not the color of the race. Therefore, that includes, you know, quite a few people.
Wow.
So that color has been dispersed various ways, because all the flags in Africa, or 2/3 of the flags from Africa, has some red, black, or green in it. But it's now.
It's not the colors, Malik.
But I think his
A
point.
flag is a flag.
Right, but
Right.
I think the point that he's making is that once they said it was the flag of the race,
Yes.
our job, which is where you were, is to claim it and substantiate that it represents the UNIA-ACL and the role it plays in our sovereignty. That's what you're saying. What you're saying is it's a race flag.
Yeah, it's a race
So,
flag.
so it's work to, yeah. So it
kinda like
requires
together.
some work to kind of balance that out, for us to send the message, because I mean, after all, we haven't sent the message. When it was used in the 60s, there was no message, or the 70s or the 80s when different groups used it. When they use it, whenever they use it, there's never been a message. We've never issued a statement.
Well, can we start now?
Yes.
Yeah, can we start now?
Absolutely.
Let's see. What's the time called right now?
Look like you're getting some more.
Yeah. Well, when you say that, when you say that, when people say that, they themselves have to take on that responsibility and coordinate with us on doing that. Because to put that off on us is what what's been happening for years.
But they can technically put it off on us because it's ours. It's ours to do. They can't do it for us. It is ours.
No, they would have to be here to help us do that.
Well,
people espouse a lot of those things. They don't be around to actually carry out things. Some don't. We're not. Here again, this is what I'm saying. It's well taken that we espouse these necessary and most vital that you actually be here to do that.
Will be a part of doing it. Yes, brother. I got you. I got you, elder. I got your ancestor. Yes.
I kind of want to connect the whole flag representation of the flag, origin of the flag thing with like the march and what we plan, what everybody needs to be doing, what we're planning on doing as we come back. So people are a lot. Well, when I say like people are not as apt to join a branded organization, that's not really so much as how they feel about it.
Excuse me, what was that word?
Branded.
Branded?
Yes.
Branded.
They use brand, like the name of the organization as its brand.
Brand, concept, entity, like a solid thing, as opposed to an idea. So the ideas that are behind Unia are solid. Everybody in every organization that's black and pro-black I can think of agrees with the most basic philosophies. But no matter inside the Unia, you would say that's synonymous with what the Unia is as an entity. But people get themselves as if they're going to, by a first step, be attached to an entity, they back up. You can probably bring in people a lot more easily through the actual concept. UNA does this. You want to do that? Cool. Then you join the concept. But they got to come in through the concept first. Like, if a person says they want to make sure there's more healthy food available in food desert areas in North Philadelphia, then you start a food program here, or a health program, or a cooking program, or some kind of food distribution program that happens to be at the UNIA. Folks come here to get involved in that program. Of course, they're going to want to join as a member. It's not even a question. That's kind of how I ended up joining here. It's like I see stuff going on here that I can add into, learn from, and actually bring things into. But not because it's the entity of the UNIA. That's a hack-into structure we need in this Western world to live with these principles. But just the principles themselves I don't think are being focused on enough. I mean here only. I mean in black organizing. Like what do we want to actually do, and what is the
part of what you're saying? Part of what you're saying is I think is 100% correct. And some of the things we talk about taking place here is programmatically making it so that we become a resource center, that we do the outreach where people can come here for other reasons. And then at that time, that becomes a recruiting tool. That's recruitment. I don't disagree with that. But at the same, on the other side of that is you also have to take the UNIA and do build the type of relationships with other organizations that allow us to interface with them, those who are moving in the direction that we're going in. And that's another way for the UNIA to also grow. The other thing, of course, is just outright saying this is what we are, hopefully this is what you want to do when you come in. But organizations that utilize the red, black, and green flag, I'm going to go a little step further than that, because many of those same organizations propose and mouth theories of Marcus Messiah Garvey and those men and women at that time. So if you can talk it, then what you need to do is be a part of it. And you can't. I agree with that. No, I'm saying, on the same token, I don't think you and I are disagreeing.
I'm an individual,
yeah. But see, organizations too, because the connection and the reason the conversation about the flag is what it's turned into is because of organizations, not just people. Yes, ancestor. You thought I forgot you, right?
I was telling the brother here when I first came here, I was going to be quiet. I'm not going to talk. Force me to talk.
It didn't work, did it? It didn't work.
I was going to talk. What this brother here was saying, the flag represents melanin. Am I right? That's what he's saying.
Yes.
Well, there is a lot of us that have melanin that's not for that flag. And we can't let everybody who have melanin wave that flag. That's all I'm saying. I've been a Garveyite for a long time. I used to come here when Brother Battle was in charge. I used to come. I stopped coming because I saw some other people that wasn't about that flag. I will do whatever I got to do to protect that flag. But I'm not going to be behind or in front of that flag to anybody that just got melanin, the race, and not be about the flag. Not about the principles God. So you know, because we got a whole lot of agendas down that's not good for the race.
That's why I actually y'all trying to give me another job.
We had a lot of jobs on the plantation.
Because some of it, what is called redefining And we have to redefine, and it's not that we can't, because I believe we should. We have to do the redefinition, even as it relates to the Negro Bill of Rights, the Negro Bill of Rights from 1920, where it said the race. We have to look at that, and again, after examining it and then examining the impact that's going on currently, and particularly since I'm sure there's feelings like this all over the world, and then say, okay, let's put together as a part of our strategic plan how we redefine what this flag represents. Because once we do that, then we can do as you say, and as Melvin said, we can begin to speak to folks who utilize those colors in their flag and let them know that it's based on a historical reference. And now we've given it a definition. So it's doable. I just was wondering if what y'all was asking was me.
I have one disagreement with what you just said.
Right.
I'm talking about people who use the flag. See, you're not getting it. It's the way those three colors are.
I understand.
That is a flag.
I got you.
So if you use those colors in any other combination, that's not the same
It's
as
not
the
the same.
red, the black, and the green
green
used in succession like that.
Correct.
And all I'm saying, when I was talking about Libya, I'm not talking about using the colors. They took that entire flag
They took the flag.
and put a star and a crescent on it and said, that is our flag.
That's correct. No, I understood what you said.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't, you regurgitate
So
back.
what I'm saying, when I talk about sovereignty, I mean the feeling of a people of their own right to determine their own destiny.
Yes, sir.
So that it's not just a flag. It is actually much more important than that.
Yes. I got
If
it.
you look at what the red, white, and blue means to these people here, it's everything to them. They kill for it. They die for it. They do anything for it. And that's why we are in the condition that we're in. Because they killed for that flag. And they killed us for that flag and used us and enslaved us for that red, white, and blue. So when we're talking about a flag, y'all got to realize it's more than just a flag. It's the entire symbol of the sovereignty of a nation of peoples.
Yes, sir.
Meaning our power.
Yes.
That's why it's so symbolic for whenever they go conquer some other land, a nation, a civilization of people. The first thing they do is they raise that, they make sure they take down that flag.
That's right.
Because, you know what I'm saying, now they're stripping away that people's sovereignty and they're putting up that red, white, and blue with stars and stripes.
And we buying that flag from the Koreans a lot of time.
Well, we've tried. Not here.
Well,
the flags in here.
We do, yeah, but
we make them
got
here.
folks out there grabbing them.
Oh, no, that's true. Wait a minute. There's a way you can actually tell if it's from the Korean. It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
It's the threading in the flag. And it shows you.
Hold on.
They put a white strip.
Right, and the white strip too. The white strip on the back.
That was almost all the flags.
Right.
Are you serious?
Yesterday,
That was the
no
deal.
flags.
Yeah, those
white
flags
strip.
are from
I seen
foreign structures.
So you know what that means, right?
The deal was cut.
They are diluting the power of that red, black, and green just by putting that white stripe there. And bastardizing the red, black, and green.
There's no reason that NOI shouldn't have contacted the UNIA or somebody should have tried to develop some type of business situation with this actual organization for that particular, event to, generate some revenue in between organizations.
Did somebody in the UNIA decide to do that?
Okay, wait a minute. Hold it. Hold. I heard a voice.
Peace and
Sure,
blessings,
peace and blessings,
everybody.
brother. I got you. I just heard that voice. He hadn't said anything.
I am Moore Ali L. I am a Moore, although
Welcome home.
I'm not an official member of Moore Science Temple of America. I'm a Moore spirit, all black people throughout the African diaspora of Moors. I'm also not a member of UNIA.
Okay.
However, I've attended several meetings in the past. I used to attend the Temple of Black Messiah here, connect with Brother George, Brother Asazi, Brother Ramesses. I was first time I've been back a couple years.
Okay. Welcome home.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Thank you. I never left.
No, I said
work
welcome home.
is out in the community.
That's right.
Yes, we got to come to the war room every now and then to build with other brothers and sisters that's actually doing the work.
Yes, sir.
And with all due respect, I appreciate the balance that people are trying to bring to this discussion about
the flag, about the RBG, about the colors. And my question that you heard a voice was, did somebody, a member, a committee, somebody within the UNIA take the initiative to make sure that we could profit from our own symbolism, from our own flag, instead of sitting here in hindsight and complaining about a white strip and the thread that the Koreans put in, and they made the money, and who should have made a deal and this and that. Because I'm quite disturbed that we spent the past half hour talking about the flag when Brother Frosty tried twice to make the point that it should be about the ideology, that the flag is only a physical symbol, representation of that. We spend all this time talking about differences in opinion, about intangible stuff. The flag ain't feeding our people. The flag ain't giving our people jobs. The programs that he suggested and the ideologies that drive people to come out. I'm not a member of the UNIA because I don't agree with the brand of Negro. I'm not a Negro, and there are a lot of people in the hood that don't affiliate with the UNIA because they don't want to be considered a Negro, despite being a Garveyite in heart and a student of Garvey and all his principles and what have you. So I'm here, and I appreciate brothers and sisters giving various viewpoints on things, but what is it accomplishing at the end of the day?
Look, first part of the answer, and then I'm going to let the other people answer, because part of what we were doing in this segment of the meeting is having a discussion about the event. Yes, in Washington, D.C., UNIA divisions there also were just working with and selling the red, black, and green. So that was done. Also, a Division 178 here from Philadelphia was also in D.C. selling and distributing the flag. That's the answer to that question. The point of talking about the white strip is because most people don't know that when the white strip is there, that it was made by someone else. The central part of it, I'm coming to you, the central part of the conversation, why the flag became so dominant, is because of its symbolism to us and how it relates to us and our sovereignty. So that's where, so the conversation is more than just about the flag. Because even in talking about the programmatic pieces, we have to do that kind of outreach and realize that we have to institute those programs. That is a part of our ongoing strategic plan. And that is things that you will see coming out of here. So even though you may not come back for another minute, you will come through and you'll be saying, oh, that's something going on at the hall. Oh, we can go get something here. So all that's in place. All that is being worked on. So this conversation it developed out of discussing yesterday.
Yes.
See, so it wasn't the whole half hour on the flag.
I found it.
Yeah. When it got to the flag, it got right there, and that's something that's
what we're going to be doing as a result of yesterday.
And that's another part of the conversation.
Education about the flag and what it stands for in its history, being part of the Garvey movement.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right. So that's where that came from. So, and that's when even the programmatic pieces realize that in our mass meetings we don't do as much specifics as you do in general, and it's time to make sure you kind of rejuvenate your energy. So that's what this is about, that camaraderie. So and when you are a member and we're in our business session, it's a different conversation. I've allowed the conversation about the flag because it is nice to see that this is on people's minds. That's how I ask if I'm getting a job out of this, and apparently I got one. See, to help move that concept forward. And had not I had this conversation in this forum, I probably wouldn't have gotten those particular assignments directly. Yes, Mark, my then ancestor, then Keith.
I was just going to address the initiative piece. Definitely an initiative had been taken, and this house has produced those flags for many, many years. So most of the people in the circles in Philadelphia know we produced those flags. You still got to keep in mind that our people have a problem with spending with our people. Right. That takes place. It gets back to, yes, it's there. Yes, we doing the piece, but it's not patronized properly.
Jim Adari from PCL is a part of that organizing branch, has gotten flags from us, and we made flags for him. So we were in that. The
brother you brought up, a lot of people won't join because they don't like the word Negro. Negro, right? Well, that's a word game then, because you mentioned the word hood. I don't like us saying we come from the hood, because my thing is, who took the word neighbor off? I was raised in a neighborhood. I want a neighbor next to me, not a hoodlum.
Okay.
So that's a word game you're playing, my brother.
right.
Yeah, because I don't like hood. And see, that makes brothers who wear hoodies, robbery, burglary, hiding. See, so
Okay.
And why?
okay,
Go ahead,
it's
Kira.
a word game.
Wait a minute, Kira, go.
So
Some
I
words
wanted to
back.
speak on that also, because I heard you say that, well, I'm not gonna join the UNIA because they use the word Negro, right? And then, you just spoke about using the word hood and how you don't like it. However, I do. I use the word hood and I use it often, and, I feel nothing of it. But he and I can both be members of the UNIA. See, this is one of the issues I feel that we have, right? Because you get hung up on that word. When it comes to UNIA, right, and what the UNIA was able to accomplish, please show me another organization that was able to unite 5 million African people all over the world. You see, that's what we ought to be thinking about. Don't come here and say you're not going to join because we use the word Negro. That's irrelevant, right? When it comes down to the word. You see, me and him can disagree with the word hood all we want to, but when it comes to the work, when it comes to what this organization has actually accomplished, and when it comes to what we can accomplish once we stop worrying about the word hood and the word Negro, that's what's important. You need to be here because you understand certain things that maybe some other people don't, regardless of the word Negro. And also try to learn a little bit about why we still use that.
That's right.
I mean, ask that question.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that
And
has...
about jobs. He mentioned jobs. Well, a lot of us got jobs. 15 jobs, 20 jobs. I think it's our character on these jobs.
So we all come together and it's like, oh, well, I'm not a Negro, or don't call, or I'm not
Got
poor,
jobs.
or I'm,
I see,
this, that, and the third. And we use all of these different little words,
Yeah,
and
word
different little
game.
things to separate ourselves. This ought to be a hub for African people. So when you come here, right? So we talked about, Frosty said something about, people always talking about growing food and doing all of those things and all of those things. What this place ought to be, because this place is in a position that many other organizations are not, what we ought to be is that place you come to be educated, right? So regardless of what you call yourself, what organization you're a part of, if you want to grow food for my people, you ought to learn that here. If you want to go out and educate our people, then you ought to learn that here. If you want to come, because that's what it's here for, regardless of the name. That's why it's here. So you, being a black man who supports other black men, you ought to support, I apologize, you ought to support this organization. You ought to support what it is, because it's been able to accomplish, like I said, what no one else has. And if we all come together and stop worrying about little words like hood, like Negro, like whatever, then we can accomplish that again. That's what we need to be focused on doing. We need to be focused on accomplishing that. So you're like, well, we just sat here and talked about all this time talking about a flag. Well, I also don't want to sit and talk hours about the word Negro. I also don't want to sit and talk about those things. Let's actually talk about what this organization does, why it was put up in the first place, what it was able to accomplish when it was, and let's make that happen again. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody else has. So we have a blueprint to do that. Let's just do that. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I see there's fire in the room today. and I appreciate my brother for stoking the flames. Appreciate it. Before I go to you, Melvin, Malik, did you want to say something? You had your hand up once.
Yeah,
You
I
good?
lost it.
Melvin?
Everybody.
I know Melvin, you lost it.
I think there was a point proven, and I think the brother made an excellent point.
Yeah.
And that's really what we have to do, is to find the answers to those questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because the answers to those questions are the kernels that unify us.
Mm-hmm.
Because our reality as a people is that we're not unified. So we stay in disunity, and we find more elements of disunity in words that disunify us. So for example, you said Frosty, okay? I don't know who Frosty is. And I'll pick up a different brother than Frosty. But you reacted to the program because you know him as Paul. Okay? Now, what I'm saying about that, the construct for me theoretically is that Negro is Frosty. In other words, it's something that you got. It's like, in other words, I'm saying it's like a nickname. No, wait, no. But let me finish. Let me say this.
I don't know the history of Frosty, but I'm sure that it was embraced by him as a nickname, whether he chose it for himself or not.
Well, I got one too.
Negro was imposed upon.
No, let me say.
Wait, hold on, stop.
stopping. I'm not stopping you, Melvin. I didn't want it to get out of control. So can we come back to just having one person at a time? No, I'm coming back to you. I just want you to be the one that's speaking. I think because we're not going to jump on the brother. So go ahead.
No, I was just using the example because I saw nicknames. And to me, it's like Negro is like a nickname. Because when we started here in America, when we first came here, we were Africans. African Methodist Episcopal Church was founded here by Richard Allen. Okay? If you look at the history of Moorish science, my brother, okay, you're going to find Garvey and a lot of those brothers were doing things together at around those times. Right. So it was like, just like you call yourself a Moor, you announced that I'm a Moor. That's a nickname. Just like Negro. It's the same thing. And we cannot get in a position to fight over these nicknames because it disunifies us. When you go back in the history of Moorish science, you're going to see these same brothers that created this were the ones that created Moorish science. Right. So we got to go back sometimes and take a look historically because it lets us know where we are right now and where we have to go. Because our real struggle is to come back together as one people regardless of the name. That's our real struggle. Because as soon as we come together and unite, we can't be stopped. As long as we're disunited and fighting each other, then we lose.
Then we continue to. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yes, Elder.
The word Negro, as used in the UNIA and ACL, is a race term. Race. It means the whole race, whole African race. When you ask a white person, are you a Caucasian? That's a race term. You could be a Caucasian, and you don't even have to be in Europe. But the word Negro is a race term. It encompasses the people in Africa, South America, North America, Europe, and every place like that. You could be a Negro and be come from Nigeria or a certain part of the Caribbean or something like that. But a lot of people like to don't want to work for the African people, and they want to use these little different things to divide us and say, I don't want to be called that, and I don't want to be called that, this.
Yes, sir.
I think that the word Negro, if it's used properly, it's not a bad word because that's part of what we are, Universal Negro Improvement Association. And it encompasses people in the Caribbean, Africa, Europe, and all over the world. If you read the philosophies and opinion, Marcus Garvey in his speeches, he uses the word African, black man, and all those nice words that we like to hear. He also uses the word Negro. So you can pick whatever word you like. But we're not going to change the name of the organization just because a person.
That wasn't the discussion, though.
I know it wasn't the discussion, but we can't rename the organization just because a few people don't like it. You have to stand your ground and say this is the name. No one word is going to satisfy everyone. And you put the magic in the word. There's no word that you can call yourself that has any magic to it. Not even Africa. Africa taking advantage of them. So therefore you put the magic in the word. Thank you.
Here.
I agree with you.
And I want to say too, because I hear a lot of times in these forums with people we always get hung up on different words and definitions, and it doesn't even have to be a word or that represents a certain group of people. It can be anything. I can come in here and say leader and have people get upset and say, well, that's the white man's term and all of that kind of stuff. So until we get, but we have to also remember that we're all in this room speaking English. So until somebody comes in, and if you want to come in and you speak to me in an African language and teach me an African language, then I'll call you whatever you want to be called. But at the end of the day, every word that you're using in this room right now is English. Yes. So let's think about that. You know, let's take that, and you see what I'm saying? Take that into consideration. Every word you use is an English word.
Technically, it's American.
Or American. American dialect of the English language.
I'm only going to go on this a few more minutes. I mean, because we went from the flag now, we talked about the word Negro. Okay, so there's a few other things we need to do, even in this mass meeting. So I got one, and then I got, okay, Paul, Frosty, whichever.
He is master up. But like, I was going to say, Brother Moore, I was going to hear his, we never asked him what he calls himself, what you said, but also the reasoning behind it. Not that it's going to refute anything anybody said per se, or it could, but we should never get respect to ask him why he prefers that as a right intellectual person himself, with his own views on why, and to not be called certain things.
And then once he says that, Baba, can you explain to us why we still use it?
My brother, do you want to say?
Peace and respect, Brother Paul. Frosty. In my studies, I have come to understand that there's a historical significance of the term Moor. M-O-O-R, M-U-U-R, M-O-R. There are people today who still retain the surname M-O-O-R-E, Moor. So there's a lot of historical significance, a lot of heritage in the concept, the term Moor, that, again, as I said, I'm not an official member. It's more in spirit than in adhering to the rules and regulations of what the organizations say you ought to do to be considered officially a member. However, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the 5 highest principles that more science says is known to mankind, I agree with that. And as part of my personal evolution, in recognizing that I am not a slave, that I am a son of God with free will and in the spirit of Kuji Chagalia, self-determination, I chose Moor Ali El as a way to raise consciousness among our people and have no idea who Nobuju Ali was, and that he was connected with Marcus Mosiah Garvey and Elijah Muhammad way back when we had a great awakening back in the early 1900s. Okay. So as part of my life journey, going from Mark Anthony Inslee, the government/slave name, straw man name, to consciousness of myself as an African, and eventually considering myself a Pan-Africanist, we are all Moors. We were the first ones to circumnavigate the globe. So although I don't personally impose my ideologies on people, I do it as a way to raise the consciousness, because the name is your flag for yourself.
Okay. Thank you. Brother Richard, I want to try to end this, so what did you want to add something that won't be too long?
Right.
Okay.
Moor means you came from Morocco, North Africa. The flag of the Moorish Shah's Temple is the flag of Morocco. Morocco is a country in Africa. We in the UNIA want to claim all of Africa for ourselves, for the people, not just in one country. I used to always talk to Moors. That's their flag, the flag of Morocco. And they only want to state the claim for one little country. We want the whole thing.
Okay, thank you, Sid. And I'm going. This topic is going to end. I'm going to be the last voice on the topic, just to bring some.
That's not fair.
Yes, it is. And it's fair. It may not be, but it's fine. It's fair. The reason the UNIA continues to use the word Negro is because there are 3 races in the world. And that's based on the science that we recognize and the science that we deal with. Until we give a different scientific definition of people, we have to deal with scientific terminology. Say, Garvey said, science par excellence. When we say we're African, we're identifying ourselves with a geographical location of the continent until we define Africa as the race. Once we do that, and we haven't done that, then we can say that we're African, and African becomes inclusive of all people of African descent around the world. What the UNIA did, what Garvey and those men and women did in 1920 was they took the word Negro, which was then spelled with a small n, raised it to a capital N, to say that we want to stake a claim to the race, which is why Garvey used the terms interchangeably, be it Negro, be it black, be it African, because Negro was the definition of the race. So no matter where we are of melon skin, whatever continent we're on, whatever geographical location we have, saying you're Negro is saying you're part of the race. I do understand what you say, because I talk to people who say, well, I don't like the terminology Negro. Understood. But yet at the same token, if we said we were the Universal African Improvement Association, somebody would say, you ain't all Africans because you ain't there. See, so I don't fight that battle. I won't fight that battle, but I respect the difference of opinion. But I'm just offering the reason why we continue to use the word Negro, because it's symbolic of us as a race of people, not connected to a geographical location, but connected up around the world and where we will be, even if we in outer space. I mean, you know, like, for real. Sunrise said he didn't come from here anyway. So since Sunrise said he didn't come from here, he's universal. If they happen to land on the planet, you know, and jump out the ship and they're gonna be black like me, I'm gonna say they're a Negro. So you know. Malik, you had some words you wanted to share with us, correct?
Yeah, I'm
at the right time. This is the right time.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Are you coming? Try not to be too controversial.
Oh, no.
Oh, stop. That's right, that's right.
My fellow brothers and sisters of Negro race, black race, the Moorish race. I am glad to come to you this afternoon to speak to you with a few words which I chose to write down before addressing you.
Yeah.
So that we will be, I will have a blueprint for the things that I say, and we'll carry on in that manner. We the Negroes, black race, have been blessed with the natural gift of ingenuity and problem solving. We have had it to our honor to be the firstborn race on this planet. The seeds of our foreparents are seen in the great civilizations along the banks of the Nile, the Tigris, Euphrates, the Yellow River in Asia, and other great river valley centers of science, medicine, world of the 21st century, we find ourselves displaced, pushed around, and playing a minor part in the affairs of today. This is due to our leadership.